one, a masterpiece. Close to the gods, she's the one, a masterpiece.
My name is Liam Bogar. I'm the VP Marketing at Scaleway, the #1 European cloud services provider. Scaleway is a 500-person cloud company. We have 6 data centers in Europe across Paris, Amsterdam, and Warsaw, and a little under 30,000 customers, including fast-growing startups. The reason Scaleway is growing is because choosing cloud infrastructure has gotten really complicated. A conversation that used to be, should we be on cloud or on-premise, has gotten a lot more nuanced, and now people are wondering whether they should have a serverless architecture or containerization architecture. Should they have managed databases or open source, blah, 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 blah. And as a result of that, what has emerged is this great lie, this belief that you can choose any cloud architecture you want, but you have to choose one cloud services provider. And the reality is that most of the tools that companies are using today and that developers are building on today are already multi-cloud, not single cloud. And so Scaleway is growing today because increasingly developers are choosing multi-cloud compatible architectures and multi-cloud compatible tools. And Scaleway is a multi-cloud services provider. Scaleway sees a lot of startups come in either through our startup program or, of course, alumni of those programs. And they're growing really quickly. And there are 3 things that we see that are really connected to how startups succeed in 2022. Number 1, of course, is being customer-centric. Increasingly, customers are getting opinionated about what startups do, how they operate, and who they are beholden to. And every good startup that succeeds by listening to customers and responding to them. The other thing we see is that employee experience is probably the biggest inhibitor or enabler to a great customer experience. So what that means is if you're trying to sell into HR and you're making it hard for your development team, which is something we care about, or your marketing team or your sales team or your product team to help them out by not providing them with the right tools, by making it hard for them to engage, then you're going to be limiting your customers' ability to have a great experience with you. And so you really need to pay attention to the experience that your employees are having as an indicator of what kind of user experience you're creating. And the last thing, of course, is scaling responsibly. The last generation of startups really had this grow at all costs, offices all over the world, dominate everything. And increasingly, employees and customers are looking to work with companies that are B Corps, companies that are, they want to work for companies that are remote friendly. They want to have freelance contracts instead of full-time contracts. They want to work and buy from people and businesses that align with their values. And what we see is that the startups that succeed are values driven. Building a sustainable business and building a business that supports a sustainable development has been a primary focus for Scaleway for years. So, not only have we invested in building one of the most energy efficient data centers in Europe, which is one of our data centers in Paris called Part 2, but we've also made sure that our entire supply chain and operations supports ethical, sustainable, and renewable decisions. So we do a lot of things that go what I would consider to be above and beyond the call of duty on that front. So, we do some of the, let's call them easy things, like we get clean sources of energy, we get sustainable sources of water, because a lot of data center energy consumption is around water cooling and water consumption. We also recycle a lot of the materials that we use and therefore extend the lifespan of products. So whereas most people are getting rid of machines after a couple of years, we have 7, 10, even more than 10-year-old machines that we have refurbished, reused, cleaned up, and sent back out into the market at a of course fair and equivalent price for the age of the machine. And the last thing we do is we really control who we buy from. So we very much vote with our wallet, and we make sure not to buy from material sources and providers that don't align with those same values. Yeah, I will be at B2B Rocks in Montpellier on June 9th and 10th, talking about how startups stand out and how they grow on stage at B2B Rocks. Please come see me, say hello, ask me about the cloud or anything else.